Okay, so let's talk about the next unit that we're going to talk about is quadratic functions. So you just spent a unit on factoring, and we're going to see what is the point of factoring, what can we do with that. So we're going to talk about parabolas. There are four types of parabolas. So there are ones that open up, left to right, and ones that open up, right to left. And these are ones that you'll see mostly in Algebra 2. And the reason for that is because there are different variations of this, but these are not functions. If I were to do the vertical line test and draw a vertical line going straight down, you would see that I hit this graph twice, which according to the vertical line test means it's not a function. The same thing is true of this one. And we've actually seen these before in the beginning of the year, and I've used graphs like these to see if it was a function or not. And I named them back then, but now we're actually getting a chance to see them for real. These are not functions, and because they're not functions, we're not going to be talking about them in any detail this year, but you will see them in Algebra 2. We're going to be talking about the other types of parabolas, the ones that do open up and the ones that do open down. So these will open up or open down. And basically what we have here is if I do the vertical line test and I go down, I can only hit the graph once. No matter where I try to draw it, if I want to draw it more over here to the right, I'm still hitting it only once. And because I only pass through once, these are functions. And these are the ones that we're going to talk about today. So there's going to be an equation for them, and this is the general equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. And when we do this for real with actual equations, these letters a, b, and c will be replaced by numbers. And you've seen it. You just took a test on factoring these quadratics or these trinomials here with an exponent of 2. So every quadratic will have an exponent of 2, and this is kind of important to say. So one of this, this is an exponent, but another term for this is called a degree. Okay, and that means that this exponent tells us the number of potential, and I want to underline that word, potential solutions. And what I mean by that is this equation could have up to 2 answers, up to 2 solutions, and I'll explain what they look like and how to solve them shortly. But know that this means that quadratics can have up to 2 solutions. Some of them can have 1 solution, and some of them can have no solutions. So we'll see what that means, and it's pretty easy to see it on a graph. But right now, just take my word for it that there could be up to 2 solutions, but no more than 2, which is nice, So let's move over to this term. Now I said these letters would be replaced by numbers eventually, but right now I did highlight letter A, or the first coefficient. As a matter of fact, we actually call it the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is going to tell us, is it going up or is it going down? And we'll look at that in a second. Now here's the general look. When you look at these parabolas, like I said, they're going to either open up or open down. So I'm going to draw one for you that opens up, and I'm just going to put some points down here just to give myself a relatively decent graph. Let's see. Let's just do this right here. Now I'm just going to connect these. Obviously I just created this graph. I just wanted to show the shape. It looks like a V. It's kind of a turn. Don't make it so sharp looking. Now this is the general shape of it. It's going to be a U. Depending on how you draw, it could be a little V looking. It depends on how narrow it is, but this does curve out. Now I put points down here, and I do want to point out these are what your solutions look like. These are your solutions. Solution. And this is another solution. Now these solutions are also called x-intercepts, which you've seen before. That's basically what it is. A solution is also known as your x-intercept, or we also call them roots. Typically I'll say solution, but you should be comfortable with all 3 terms for those. Where it bottoms out, this point, like the lowest point on this curve, will be the vertex. Okay, and I will ask you for the coordinate, but right now I just want to put that down for you. Okay, so that's if it opens up. If it opens down, it's kind of going to be the same thing, except it's just going to be pointing in the opposite direction. So let's just draw a generic parabola, and let's just do this. So it's going to be opening and then going down. And these are the two shapes you'll see. So your solutions are right here. So here's one of your solutions. I just want to label this so you see it. And this is your other solution. Now, like I said, this can only have up to 2 solutions, meaning that this curve, it's going to be a U kind of shape or a V kind of shape or kind of curved down like a frowning face. The most that it could hit the x-axis is twice, which is why you can only have 2 solutions at most. Sometimes you can miss the x-axis, you have no solution, and sometimes you only hit it one, you have 1 solution. Your vertex for this one would be the highest point, and that's right here, vertex.